the venue, constructed in 1923, ranked the third best acoustics in the country. We appreciate your support. Thank you for coming out for the honorees, and for everybody else, again, thank you. I'd like to introduce the President of the Board of Directors, Glenn Harrison.
Welcome everybody here tonight. The Strand is officially 94 years old. I first came to the Strand in the early 1960s when we would go to the movies and pay 50 cents and watch the cartoons and buy the candy, and where the gallery was, we were eating the food tonight. That was Reuben's Pharmacy. You'd buy the candy there and come in here. A lot of people don't remember that point. I think like Mike probably does, right Mike? A little bit older than me, okay. But it started out as a vaudeville theater. It had many incarnations. Now we are what we are. We're going to honor 4 people tonight that are very worthy of receiving the award. And I just want to turn it back to Scott McFadden.
Thank you. Thank you, Glenn. This is the first time in a long time we've had the gala in conjunction with the show. And the Christmas show tonight, the Rock and Roll Christmas, is going to be great. Enjoy it, because we're probably not going to do it again. It's too much to do in one night. So have a good time tonight. What are you going to do? I'd first like to thank the staff and the crew, and specifically I'm going to start off with Chris Everett and the tech crew, because they very willingly acknowledge. They're absolutely great. Everybody that's played here for the last 2.5 years since I started doing this has complimented us on how great they are, and I want to acknowledge them first. They're never first, and they deserve to be. I'd like to thank Jesse Warren, who helped throughout this process to organize the event, to get everybody here. I thank him. I didn't have as much time to do it this year as I did the last 2, so he took over for a lot of things that I had to do in the past, and he was a great help. I want to thank Lori and Dina for all of their hard work. They set up the gallery, a lot of the food. I'd like to thank everybody who donated the food for sure. Anybody that's had anything to eat, I saved the spot for the hot dog myself. They're great. Also like to thank Fran, who runs the office, the operations manager on a day-to-day basis. As I said last year, she's kind of the glue that keeps everything together. Sometimes a little sticky. I'd like to also thank Rich, Val, Rosie, and the ushers and concession people who work here every week, and whatever shows we have, they do a great job too. We have some of our friends here tonight that have helped or put on performances here, or helped us to put on performances, and I want to acknowledge them. Jim D'Amico is one of our promotion partners. He's done a great job bringing in another act. Our friends from Exit 82 Theater, who are great. They put on wonderful shows. I encourage you to please come see them. Keely, Sean, and Billy are here, and they introduced me to 3 or 4 other people whose names I don't remember. But I'd like to welcome you. BCCT does a great job. They just had a sold-out show. It was the most tickets we've ever sold here on Sunday. They had over 1,000 people. Kendra Zarelli, I don't think they can make it tonight. Their son had something going on, but I want to thank her. Chris Rockwell, who did the cover of the Air Journal and a lot of other things here. He's done some shows in the gallery. Chris is a great resource, and we love him. We appreciate him. And Anthony Remember Jones, I want to thank him too. I don't think he made it, but Mighty's on tour, and he's done quite a bit with us, from an artistic perspective. And he's just a great person to have around to bounce ideas off and have ideas. With that, I'd like to start with our first honoree, Steve Levine, and each have given me biographical sketches of varying lengths, which, if I got them earlier or got here earlier, I would have edited, but I didn't have time, so I'm going to read them. It may take a while. But each of them are as Glenn said, so much deserving. The mission of each individual windmill restaurant owner and each individual windmill employee is to serve superior quality food at a fast, friendly, and courteous manner. The formula for superior quality food is simple. Buy the finest products available. The formula for fast, friendly, and courteous service is also simple. Hire local people, provide them with a positive work environment, and treat each of them as a valued member of the team. The Windmill is also committed to service to the communities in which they work. The Levine family is dedicated to helping their neighbors by being active supporters of the Food Bank of Monmouth and Ocean Counties, the Jersey Shore Dream Center, Holiday Express, to just mention a few. They strive daily to set an example for their employees and fellow business leaders by demonstrating their core belief of giving back to the community. It certainly helped us here at the Strand in ways that I couldn't even begin to tell you. On a one-to-one level, the family tries to respond to each and every request made by local charities. It also sponsors fundraising events, which help organizations raise much needed funds. So we'd like to present this award tonight in acknowledgement to Steve Levine. Academy Award of National You have an official presentation. Thank you, Steve. Our second award is presented to Tom Janarone. Tom Janarone has been a dominant figure in New Jersey's nightclub and live entertainment scene for over 25 years. With nearly 20 years of entertainment law practice under his belt, Tom represents a wide variety of talent, including musicians, bands, comedians, professional wrestlers, models, professional cyber athletes. The flip side of Mr. Janarone's law practice also involves the representation of many of New Jersey's most successful nightclubs, restaurants, and bars. He also played drum in a popular rock band called the Smokin' Jackets, performing in South Jersey and Philadelphia, a band which recently resurrected after a 24-year hiatus. Mr. Janarone served 2 years as the entertainment and promotion director for Artstock's legendary clubs, in which I spent a great deal of my youth. The Playpen and Birch Hill. And all of us of a certain age know what they were like. These two famous clubs had a combined capacity of over 5,500 people and were no strangers to some of rock and roll's most famous bands, such as Bon Jovi, Skid Row, Motley Crue, Poison, and many others. In 1991, Mr. Janarone took on the entertainment director and general manager position at the 3,000-person capacity bar Anticipation, aka Bar A. It was the first place I took my wife on a date many moons ago, in Lake Como, New Jersey. There he reunited and developed some of the top cover bands in the tri-state area. In 1992, Tom combined some new talent with his Beat the Clock nightclub concept on Tuesday nights. This single night at Bar A continues to be the busiest weeknight at any club in the state, grossing well over $20 million in sales since its inception, some of which we hope to find its way here. Bar A continues, and we have, that's why he's sitting up here. Bar A continues to be hailed as an industry leader, one of the country's biggest establishments, winning many top industry awards annually. In 2005, Tom became a licensed entertainment agent in the state of New Jersey and founded Trend Productions with a colleague from Bar A. Trend Promotions specializes in providing promotional ideas, activities, and personnel for clients primarily in the alcoholic beverage industry, including Bacardi Imports, Anheuser-Busch, Miller Brewing Company, Brown-Forman, and Fedway Distributors. Trend currently employs over 70 professional models. Mr. Janarone's entertainment law practice has led him to negotiate contracts and communicate with many large organizations, including Microsoft, Hallmark, World Wrestling Entertainment, Extreme Championship Wrestling, Total Nonstop Wrestling, American Gladiators, Comedy Central, Universal Studios, Anheuser-Busch, RCA Records. You got the idea. So we'd like to present this award to Tom Janarone for his help and support.
We should take you out one night, just have some fun that's non-involved.
The next award is being presented to somebody who's a special friend, became a special friend over the past couple of years, Frankie Previtt. Frankie was born in New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, by the time I'm done with this, you'll know why Frankie's sitting up here. His father was an opera singer and was Frankie's first musical inspiration. Frankie's first album was released in 1971 with a metal band called Bull Angus on Mercury Records. The band toured with Rod Stewart and the Faces, Deep Purple, and Fleetwood Mac, and also played a 3-day Pocono Mountain Festival with such notable groups as Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Humble Pie, Three Dog Night, and many more. And I'd like to say I remember that because I know I was there, but I don't. In the late 70s, Frankie signed with Buddha Records, where he produced a more R&B direction like Grammy Award-winning producer Tony Camillo. In the early 1980s, Frankie decided to combine his rock and R&B roots with some more blue-eyed soul-style music and started Frankie and the Knockouts, right?
Yeah.
Right? The band was signed to Millennium Records, which was RCA, and his first single was Sweetheart, reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1981. You're My Girl and Without You, Not Another Lonely Night quickly followed, topping the charts at 14 and 16 respectively. When the president of the label, Jimmy Ienner, decided to close the label in 1985, Frankie and the Knockouts were sold to MCA, which released the band's third and final album, Making the Point. Late in 1986, Frankie was contacted by the same Jimmy Ienner to write a song for a little movie called Dirty Dancing. And so the song, I've Had the Time of My Life, was written by Frankie. He also wrote Hungry Eyes, which was originally to be on his demo reel, while he searched for a new Frankie and the Knockouts track while he was shopping for a new record deal. The song, I've Had the Time of My Life, earned Frankie an Academy Award, a Golden Globe Award, and a Grammy nomination. What a year. Frankie told me a story that's not on here, but I want to tell you, just because it's probably too humble to say it. When they filmed the movie, Dirty Dancing, Patrick Swayze was the star of the movie, and when they went to the Academy Awards, which Frankie won, Patrick Swayze hugged Frankie and said, you know, we made the movie to your song. Frankie's song was, and his version singing it, was the song that was played when they were filming the movie. The Bill Medley version that we all came to know came out later and actually was put into the movie, but the song that the cast knows and that they did that movie to was Frankie. And, in addition to these songs, there's one that you don't know that we'll be playing probably during intermission. He wrote this one day. I wanted to hear his version of this when we first met. We're doing a show here together, his Dirty Dancing show. Not Dirty Dancing, Decades of Divas show. And I was like, people that know me know I'm not shy, and you can probably tell too. I wanted to hear his original version. I'm going to ask this. So we're talking, he said, you want to hear it having a CD in the car? I said, yeah, so we went out and listened to it. It was great. He said, I also wrote this new Christmas song. Tell me what you think. It's great. He said, like, my grandkids should be singing this in 30 years like a standard Christmas song, and when you hear it later, I think you'll agree. But anyway, I'd like to take this opportunity now to present this award to my good friend Frankie. Thank you so much. And Frankie is going to be the director. Last but certainly not least, award. Actually, there's one that's a surprise that really only two of us know about. There's one after this, but it's going to be quick. It's comedian Mike D'Elia, who's been a supporter of the Strand Theater throughout his life. As he said before, he's a little older than some of us. He started coming here, he told me before with the presentation here, 1952. And with a brief hiatus in the middle there somewhere, has been pretty much coming throughout. Mike's being honored tonight for his dedicated service to the community of Lakewood. Many of you here tonight know Mike from any number of boards, committees, and volunteer organizations that he's served on. What a majority of people don't realize is that this unassuming man lies over a half a century of dedicated service to this community, a fact that's remained hidden for the most part because Mike is not a man who likes to talk about himself or to his own horn. He does what he does because he loves it. He does it because he loves the town, the citizens, because he loves to make a difference, and he has. He started out with the Lakewood First Aid Squad and followed with a long tenure with the Lakewood Fire Department. He's most known for his work with the fire service, having run the gamut of positions in the career firefighting to volunteer firefighter, fire service instructor, hazmat team coordinator, president of the Ocean County Fire Chiefs Association, and he was elected fire commissioner, and one of his proudest accomplishments is serving as the department's fire chief in 1986 and 87. His resume of community service continued further in the fire department with his election to the Township Committee in the 1990s, and again in 2015, where he's been a great supporter of the Strand since coming back to public office. He serves on countless boards, including Head Start, Emergency Management Services, Emergency Planning Council, and Lakewood Industrial Commission, just to name a few. Mike's also a small business owner. He's a co-founder of the D'Elia Funeral Home, which he continues to work today. Somehow I was able to accomplish all this while raising a family. Mike is married to June for over 40 years. They have 2 children, Patricia and Mike Jr., as well as 4 grandchildren. And Trish is someone who's helped us out a great deal here at the Strand as well. With classic humility, he will attempt to shrug off any indication he's done great things for the town. He'll tell you I'm just happy to do it. Anyway, I think the community's given back to me so much more than I've ever done for them. And we'd like to just do something and recognize Mike for his support, both of Lakewood community as a whole and for the Strand in particular this evening with this one. Now turn the chair around.
I have to say a few words because everybody's asking me what's my speech. I just want to thank the Strand for this. I get embarrassed because I should be thanking you for allowing me to do the things that I've done in my lifetime. I thank my family. I thank my children, who I probably neglected sometimes. But I don't thank my grandchildren because I don't neglect them at all. Nothing comes before my grandchildren. I just want to tell a quick story. I have been coming to the Strand since about 1952, 53, only because in those days you couldn't come in the Strand as a child. You had to go to the Palace. I think Bob Kirshner's out there, maybe he remembers that. But we weren't allowed to come in here. But in high school, we did come in. And I really shouldn't tell this story, but I'm going to tell it anyway because my grandchildren are not going to let me live this down. But right up there was a stairwell, an emergency exit. And every Saturday or Sunday, or Friday night, when we were in high school, about 10 of us would get together, pitch in a nickel, send 2 guys into the theater. One would come down around here and create a ruckus. The usher, we called him Super Dude, used to run down, never got wise. We did it for about 3 years. The other guy would run downstairs, open the door, and the 10 of us would come up. Now, there's a moral to the story. I never got caught, we never got caught. But about 15 years later, I'm sitting in the First Day building, and I don't know whether any old timers remember Tommy Tupper. He was the projectionist here, lived upstairs, and Tommy looks at me and he goes, "You know, you're familiar." I said, "I don't know." He said, "I do. You're the guy that snuck in every weekend." So I did get caught. But thank you everybody. I really appreciate this.
We have one more, and then we'll get on with the show. We're getting close to letting everybody in anyway. This award is for the Volunteer of the Year, the Strand Theater Volunteer of the Year. And if you come to any shows here, if you come to every show here, just about every show, you'll find a guy at the door. Jeff Gerstenblatt is here every show, just about every show. I think he missed maybe 3 this year. And for that, Jeff, that's why I asked you while you were sitting up there. I wanted you to sit down here. This is for you, and we'll give it to you out there. That's it. Thanks for coming.